One thing that can be extremely overwhelming when you start camping, backpacking, or even through hiking is what tent is right for you. And when I say right for you, I mean just that, because everyone does have personal preferences and they do have subjective taste to what gear they like the most. But there are very relevant things like budget and the level of type of activity that you're doing that does make a type of tent more applicable to your choice than someone else. Today, that's what I want to address, is my recommendation on if I was in that level of activity, or if this was maybe my budget, what I would be looking at from a standpoint of a shelter or a tent. First and foremost, let's start out with the low budget option. This might be more applicable if you're a person that is just getting into camping, or you have no idea what you're going to do with backpacking and where you're going to go with it, and you don't want to invest too much money into it. Kazoo freestanding tent that you can find on Amazon. The reason why I would recommend this one for a budget option is because $89 for a tent that weighs 3 pounds is actually a pretty good deal. Most tents that you'll find that are one person that range in the 3 pound or 2 pound range can run up to about $300. So you're not going to really find a budget tent that is this low in price. And on top of it having over 500 reviews, I'm pretty confident that it's done what it says it will do and it's delivered on its value. I even read through multiple reviews that if something broke, they were actually able to contact the company and do a return pretty easily. So that also gives me confidence in Kazoo for replacing their product if it does happen to break. This 1 to 2 person tent, as they have in the description, seems like a pretty good deal, especially for 3 pounds. It would keep you dry on trail and it wouldn't weigh down your pack with traditional tents that in this price range happen to weigh about 4.5 to 5 pounds. There was another really good budget option that I found online as well. The REI Co-op Passage 1 person tent goes for about $100 currently right now. The minimum trail weight of this tent is 3 pounds and 11 ounces, which isn't the lightest, but it's also not the heaviest. And one great thing that I can say about REI is you can use a piece of gear for up to a year and return it for something else or get a store credit with absolutely no hassle to you whatsoever. Now, with the Kazoo and the REI Co-op Passage tent, I haven't used either or, so I can't tell you that I've personally taken them out. But just doing my research online and seeing the price and the specs, the value is definitely there, because $89 and $100 for a tent that's somewhat considered light in the backpacking or camping world is a pretty good deal. And then on top of that, being able to return it if you don't like it within an entire year and apply that store credit if you want to upgrade to something else is also a huge plus as well. Okay, so we've talked about kind of the beginner option or the budget option, something where you don't know if you want to invest the time and money into backpacking and camping and you want to just go out there and try it out. But what about if you're on trail seasonally or you get out quite a bit on the weekends? Personally, if you're out there quite a bit, you're camping, you know you enjoy backpacking recreationally, I would have no hesitations getting the Quarter Dome SL2. The reason why I recommend the Quarter Dome SL2 is because, one, I've personally used it for quite a bit of trips, and it only weighs 2 pounds, 8 ounces for the minimum trail weight. Honestly, for a 2-person shelter, that's extremely light. Now you're talking about half the weight of the 2 prior tents that we just talked about almost, and you're not quite getting into the ultralight category of a tarp or a Z-Pax duplex, but you're getting into that middle ground of really high quality, it being an REI product that you can try for up to a year and then switch out for something else, and it only weighs 2 pounds, 8 ounces. On top of all of that, it's so easy to set up. It's a freestanding tent. Sometimes I've set this thing up, I didn't put the rain fly on because I was too tired or whatever it might be. I didn't have to stake it down, and it's just so convenient to set up. If you have a significant other, or if you want to have room for your pack and gear to bring it inside, if it is snowing or if it's raining, whatever the situation is, you can do that with this tent because it's 2-person. So I really don't have anything bad to say about this tent. It comes in around $340, which is a little bit more pricey when you compare it to the budget options we just discussed. But at the same time, this is a recommendation based on someone who knows they're getting the value out of this tent. They want something a little bit lighter in their pack. They know they're going out quite a bit when the season rolls around. I think that this is a great option for people who fall in this category, if you will. Another tent that I think falls into this category is the Nemo Hornet one-person tent. The reasoning for me placing the Nemo Hornet in the same category as the REI Quarter Dome SL2 is because it comes around to be the same price at $350. However, with the Nemo Hornet, you're looking at 1 pound 10 ounces, which is a whole pound lighter than the Quarter Dome SL2. So one could argue that if you know you're getting out there quite a bit and you're doing some week-long trips or 3-day stints or even just a bunch of overnighters, then the Nemo Hornet might be for you, especially if you don't plan on pulling in your gear to your tent or you don't have another person that's hiking with you that's gonna be in the tent with you. You know you're one person and you wanna really shave down your base weight. Now, I've never personally used this tent, but I see it on trail a lot, and the people that I've talked to have zero complaints about it. So I think that this tent is the choice for you if you know you want to shave down your base weight, you know you're going on multi-day trips, or you're just going out on a lot of weekends and you're going to keep using this type of gear, especially because Nemo has such a great gear policy. They have a lifetime warranty and they will never hassle you about returns or if something goes wrong. So you definitely get what you pay for. Okay, to wrap this all up, the last category is you're going to do a long distance trail of 200 to 500 to thousands of miles or more, and you want a lightweight tent because you are looking over your bag to decide where you can shave a pound or two in a significant way. I personally own the Z-Packs Duplex. Now, I'm not really going to go on about the Z-Packs Duplex because I think all in all, if you want a really lightweight quality tent, it's a great tent, and it's especially awesome because it's easy to use and it's light. And that's why people opt to buy them for long distance through hikes or the Colorado Trail or the Arizona Trail, because when you set something up every day and you break it down every morning, convenience and lightweight really comes into play, and it's worth every cent. Now, I'm not going to go on and on about that tent, but I think I found a gem online that could put you in the same category as the ultralight Z-Packs Duplex without the cost. The Lunar Solo Backpacking Tent. Now, I haven't used this tent, but from what I've seen online from other gear reviews and just the reviews in general, this tent looks pretty promising. This tent only weighs 26 ounces, so that's 1.6 pounds, and it comes in at a third of the cost of any Z-Packs tent. Now, I think this tent is supposed to be in direct competition with the Z-Packs one-person tent. It looks almost identical. But I gotta say, if it really is durable, 26 ounces or 1.6 pounds and $260, then they definitely are competing with Z-Packs in a big way. Because from what I've read in the 260 reviews on their website, these are real people who have used the tent in various conditions for up to 6 months to 4 years. The overall feedback on this tent is pretty damn good. Now, I wish I could sit here and say I've used it and taken it out in the field, but if I ever have problems with my Z-Packs Duplex, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the next tent I'm going to try, because for $260 and for the weight that it is and for just what I can see from a customer review standpoint, it definitely looks like something worth trying. If you're going to be in the field a lot on a long distance hike, or even if you're just looking to make your pack lighter because you're going out a lot during the season, this is a tent I would seriously look at, because $260 for 1.6 pounds, that's a crazy good deal. It almost makes me a little suspicious. So if I do have to retire my Z-Packs Duplex after this long through hike on the Pacific Crest Trail, this is something that I'll seriously look at buying, because I don't know if I shell out the price of $700 again unless I plan on doing another long through hike like the Appalachian Trail or the Continental Divide. Well, that's pretty much it for the video, y'all. I made this video because I felt like when I was starting to backpack or look into gear, the tent choice seemed to be the most overwhelming to me. I don't know if that's everyone else's experience. And if you do have any tent recommendations that are great, because I'm sure I left out 10 or 20 more options, please leave them down below. But overall, I was just trying to give you all some narrowed down options based on budget and how much you look to recreationally backpack or go camp. So if you found this video helpful at all, consider dropping a like and subscribing, and I will see you all on the Pacific Crest Trail at the southern terminus in just about 10 days.